the Neue Schule Waterford Jumper.
Hi, I'm Heather Hyde from Neue Schule, and I'm going to talk about our unique modern Waterford, what the differences are and what the benefits are. Now, the traditional Waterford actually did work. The problem being that after even quite a short space of time with many horses, they would develop a rub in the commissures in the corner of the lip. And that's because with the traditional design, the barrels actually start adjacent to the cheek. Now what we've done to almost eradicate that problem is we've created what we refer to as a smart lip shelf. So we have this very smooth area, for the lip to actually rest on. The other benefits are we have a slightly slimmer mouthpiece, so it accommodates an awful lot more horses. And we've changed the shape of the barrel. Horses are actually more responsive, but it's still just as comfortable. And we've achieved that by having a slightly more of a central rise, so it is that little bit more effective. So for speed control, it really is a good tool to actually consider. Some riders back away from it, because of the look of it, but I do hope after this explanation that they will, reconsider the benefits and, under what circumstances, they would use the Waterford. Now, the reason a lot of horses are so comfy in the Waterford is the fact that it's very malleable. It bends in every direction. So it's actually a really comfortable mouthpiece. So, a rider can actually, ask for the horse to come back. Once the horse has responded, they can instantly give the rein and it becomes a really comfortable mouthpiece. So the Waterford does actually have many benefits if you do need something that is going to give you that little bit more control. The other thing that's really important for me to mention is the sizing of the Waterford. Now, traditionally, we would go up maybe a quarter or half an inch, but we don't want to lose the benefits of the smart lip shelf. So we would actually stay the same size. So if you're a 5-inch in a loose ring snaffle, then you're going to be a 5-inch in a Waterford loose ring snaffle. So just do bear that in mind. Here we have a combination of the Waterford mouthpiece on our very popular jumper cheek. Now we always put our cheek pieces in the top ring. If we were to have one rein on the middle ring, this is going to act like a boucher and it's going to give us the poll relief. If we were to attach one rein into the bottom, then this would be a +1, which would mean that 10% of the force that we're actually putting through the rein is going to travel up through the cheek pieces and over the poll. So it's actually quite kind to the poll. It does help for horses that are strong, in particular horses that are a little bit rude and they have this get back to you later when things are really exciting. Horses that tend to grab the bit and try and sort of take the bit forward and down to gain that little bit of momentum in order to sort of get their own way. So for speed control, it's highly recommended. It's very much favoured by our show jumpers because of the degree of directional control that you actually obtain with this cheek. So accuracy into a fence or for turning, it's particularly useful. And again, if you do have a horse that's inclined to rub in the commissures, in the corner of the lip, this gives you a lot of stability and it stops the mouthpiece from sliding back and forth, when you're having to make those tight turns. So there we have it, the Waterford on the jumper cheek.